Okay, I just want to say this right here. This has nothing to do with the movie, but I need to say it. If you live in the UK, Cineworld, and they have this annoying commercial on with an unlimited card, and they show movies on it on a very obvious green screen iPad, and they show Aquaman, but it's the first poster. Don't believe me? Here it is. I'll zoom in closer for you. You see what I'm saying? And The Lost Kingdom is directed by James Wan, stars Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Amber Heard, Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, sorry for pronouncing it wrong, and Nicole Kidman. And Black Manta is still driven by the need to avenge his father's death and wielding the power of the mythic Black Trident will stop at nothing to take Aquaman down once and for all. To defeat him, Aquaman must turn to his imprisoned brother Orm, the former king of Atlantis, to forge an unlikely alliance in order to save the world from irreversible destruction. Hello, you weird, beautiful movie lovers. My name is Louis, aka Movie Phantom, and today we're talking about Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, the latest and last movie from the DCEU. So, the first Aquaman in general. So, the first Aquaman itself, it's meh, I guess. It's fine. It's entertaining enough, but even then, it's not really that great. It has a lot of issues with its tone and stuff, but even then, it's not boring, and I do like Jason Momoa's performance as Aquaman, and a bunch of other characters like Willem Dafoe and Patrick Wilson's, and their performances are good too. Now, this movie itself, I've been unironically excited for. I have always wanted to see what that post-credit scene concludes to, since I first saw it, so I was unironically excited because this movie looked hilariously bad, but at the same time I was intrigued with this. So, now that I've seen this, yeah, it's not that great. But admittedly, I wouldn't really call it awful, but still, it's kind of a bad movie in general. I mean, yeah, first off, my personal favorite thing about this movie is definitely with Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson in here. They have a great dynamic with each other, and they are very funny. And yeah, I did enjoy their performances and their banter. They had some good jokes. They had a nice dynamic, chemistry, all that stuff. And I did think they worked well with each other. Jason Momoa himself, he is a little bit goofy in here, but admittedly, yes, I did like him in this movie. I thought he did a good job once again. And yeah, Amber Heard in general, she is back, and she is surprisingly in it a lot more than I expected. And admittedly, yeah, she's a little better, but still, she does suck in real life, and she does kind of suck in this movie, but even then, she's not that bad in this movie. Nicole Kidman is briefly in this, and, yeah, most other actors and characters were mostly there, but still, the main standouts are basically with Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson, but also with Yahya Abdul-Mateen II, sorry for pronouncing that name, as Black Manta, and Randall Park as Dr. Stephen Shin, who also give two other great performances, my personal favorite being Randall Park, who I actually like his character a lot in this movie, surprisingly, since, well, he didn't really get a lot in the first movie, but for the most part, I did think he did a good job with this character. And Black Manta himself, he's fine. He's kind of a mixed bag with his performance. He, I don't know, like, at times he's good, but at times he's kind of bad in this movie. But even then, he isn't, like, that bad of a character, even though I didn't really like what they did with him. Like, with the Black Trident itself, he's more possessed, and I kind of wish they didn't do that, because it kind of took away a little bit off him, but still, I did kind of like that with it. The CGI itself, people compared the first movie with it reminding me as Aquaman, as Avatar. The first movie isn't really, even though there are some pretty great lighting and stuff like that, but here, yeah, it doesn't really look that great. It morely looks like dirt, but instead of dirt, it's piss, and then it just gets on the ocean and just, it's technically like that. I feel like it would, maybe there's a better way to say, to describe it, but I don't know, like, it just looks kind of bad. Don't get me wrong, there are some good uses off it, like particularly with a chase in the beginning of the movie that was pretty cool to watch. And I do like how James Wan directs his action sequences, and I think they are good overall. But even with that, a lot of it does look choppy and hard to look at. The lighting for some of it just looks really flashy, and it genuinely kind of hurt my eyes. And to be exact, there are many movies that do use it in a good way that, even if they hurt my eyes, are cool. But yeah, and kind of an epilepsy warning. It's not that severe, but admittedly, yeah, it's kinda, I don't know, it depends how you feel. With the movie script in general, it is a little all over the place, and with its pacing, it feels like the first movie's runtime combined with something like Zack Snyder's Justice League. Like, not that long, but still. This movie is shorter, like 20 minutes shorter than the first. It's 124 minutes. It feels 20 minutes longer. Like, I felt like they were lying about the runtime. I mean, genuinely. A lot of the dramatic sequences in this can be unintentionally hilarious. Like, genuinely. I genuinely laughed when they didn't want me to. Also, the movie does have, technically a usage with climate change with its plot, and I don't have a problem with that. I do stand by with what it's saying. But admittedly, I was jokingly thinking, okay, so what if they, I don't know, like, they just say to the audience, we must protect the earth and all, we must protect the oceans. And while I do stand by that, I was jokingly thinking about if they would say that, and they actually do. They actually do that for some weird reason, which kind of shows a lot. And also with the CGI itself, it can be unintentionally hilarious, particularly one brief part in the beginning where it looks like Jason, like a mannequin, but instead of but with the face of it, you put Jason Momoa's face on a piece of paper and then you wrap it around the mannequin. It's kind of like that, if you know what I mean. And yeah, you can kind of tell, it's mainly for that one scene, but yeah. Also in the background off it, it looked like a bubble was glitching. Probably it was with my eyes, but I don't know, it just kind of looked like it to me. The score itself is pretty good, though at times it does feel very inappropriately used. Like, kind of some of it feels like it's from Looney Tunes or something like that. You felt like it was from something different. And don't get me wrong, while the score can be used greatly, I loved its techno vibes with it, but yeah. It's, at times, it's not really the best, if you know what I mean. But yeah, also some of it with it, like, there a time with a submarine with it, that does look cool, but at times it felt like, what's the word again? A exhibit, if you know what I mean, like an exhibit of a submarine in a museum. It literally looked like that. And while some of it with it does look cool, like I did like the design of it, and it does look cool and all, but it really does feel like an exhibit. Though the machines in there, like the kind of octopus-like submarine thing, I guess, was really awesome, and I loved that with it, but yeah, the dialogue itself isn't really that great. It does feel very weirdly used. But, yeah, admittedly, I would recommend watching this movie if you want me to say on it. This is unintentionally hilarious a lot of the times. To be fair, if you want to watch this, then I would recommend watching this on a big IMAX screen and then rewatch it at home on Blu-ray or 4K. I would much rather prefer 4K because it would probably be much more hilarious to do that. So yeah, overall, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom is not that good. It's very bland. It's generic, but admittedly there are some good dynamic with Jason Momoa and Patrick Wilson, and I did like some of the stuff with it, like its lighting, score, and some other things, and also sadly Amber Heard's character, doesn't really get, you know what, sadly, but anyways, yeah, overall, I give Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom a C-. So those are my thoughts on Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. What did you think about this movie? Did you love it, hate it? Let's agree, disagree down below in the comments. Come tell me my next review will be for Rebelman. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, stay awesome.